saying good day once again to ye mateys. I be Josh the Pirate, and I be back for some more home brewing. This evening, I have realised that there is a deficiency in my homebrew thus far. I have homebrewed myself a Wild Magic table, I've homebrewed myself a Barbarian Surge Wild Magic table, and yet I have neglected the important deck of many things. I was alerted to this problem when I was playing Jasper's game day, and I said, don't you worry, good sirs, I don't need the deck of many things. I have my own deck of many harrowing deck. This was created by the deck of many things, as in the producer, the publishers, third-party developers, who created the Humblewood, actually. Or they produced it. They're in some way affiliated with it. I believe they were the publishers because it was created by the Hit Point Press. But they have a harrowing deck. Same deal, 22 cards as the deck of many. But the thing is, 22, and I thought the deck of many was more. 22 feels like not very many, to be honest. There's not a lot of options. But they are distinct. They are two different things. Though they both had 22 options, and a few were the same, like the skull is the same in either one. But I'm like, I want more options. I want more chaos, more potential weirdness. And also, when my hard drive died, and fun news, it cannot be restored. It cannot be repaired, I heard today. So I received my deposit back, so I didn't pay anything. But that sucked. I did manage to dig through some old Discord messages and find the person who sent it to me and got it back. But by that point it was far too late, and I had already decided that I was going to do a new one, a better one, this one. So that's what we're going to do today. Before I continue, I should mention that I'm Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related things with my lovely wife, the mother of bunnies, and a bunch of my friends. You can find me also in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Skern Felspar und his little dragon, Hrosh. I just happen to have some There Be Dragons business cards in front of me. We here on Corsair's Cove vehemently support the Ukrainian people. And if you would like to do that too, you can do so here on some of these links. Because we have a couple of charity links in chat that you could support if you fancied it. If you have some charity money in your digital wallet, please chuck them over there, because the Ukrainian people may never know about it, but they would probably appreciate it. Let us, as I usually do, I have done a bit of research. So I've had a look, and I've got the harrowing deck, the deck of many, the all-new harrowing deck of many things. Found it, and then there is, of course, the original deck of many things. Ace of Diamonds, King of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds. It's basically all the face cards and the jokers. Using Ivan's Firebird in my Grim Hollow campaign. Ooh! I will be running Ivan's Firebird in Winterfest. D&D Winterfest down in Bridgetown in a couple of months. Because I was like, well, no one down there will have played it. I need to message them about it, because the Karen is going to be DMing down there as well. And even more fun, they're auctioning off the seats at my table. They were like, we've got a couple of quite high-profile DMs coming down this year. It's AJ Winters and Dreaded GM and yourself, of course. And we'd like to make a little bit of cash on the side from it. So would you mind if we auctioned off the seats at your table? And I was like, fucking yeah, do it. Love it. Sounds great. So yeah, that's cool. And I will be DMing that one for the Dungeons and Drunks evening thing, so where we can get all pissed up. Which that'll be fun, because I don't DM drunk. I don't drink while I run, because the last time I did that, I wound up giving a druid something really OP. Like I homebrewed him a magic item on the fly, and it was ludicrous. Well, the thing was, I would contend it wasn't that bad. The problem was, it had a 1 in 12 chance of breaking whenever he used it. He used it regularly, and he straight up never broke it. It did D12 damage, and if it did max damage, it broke. Because he hit someone too hard with it, and it snapped. But it never snapped. So he had it for the entire freaking campaign. He rolled an 11 like 4 times for the damage, never rolled a 12. I'm like, mother... break it already, would you? And then when he thought his luck was run out, he just started using its secondary properties and didn't. And was like, never mind. So let's have a look at this, shall we? So what I want to do is I want to get more use out of my beautiful tarot deck. So I'm going to make one for each of the tarot cards. Never regret winning a seat at your table. One of the best experiences of my life. Some lucky person is in for a treat. Oh, Laurite. Oh, bless your cotton socks. Inspiration for you. Thank you. That's very kind. Right. Completely distracted by that obscene flattery. Okay, so, yeah. I want to have one for every one, but I found a shortcut. I thought of a shortcut. I reckon the suits... we do one thing for each suit, but the suits determine the elemental alignment of the thing that happens. So we have, the 2, for example, you get struck by a bolt of lightning, /fireball, / and it does X amount of damage. The only problem we'll be thinking of, I know maybe the face cards are different, but like the numerical suits are... The problem is that'll be more than half of it. Will just be, you take damage, or you can do damage, or your weapon glows with this pent-up radiance. I reckon that could be kind of fun, but it sort of... Mine will be a slightly different deck by that measure. Ooh. How about if you don't draw a face card or a major arcana, then you get 2. Dude, I got to play with you, Rob, Dag, Michele, D20, and John the Dragon. It was incredible. Totally worth it for a 4 a.m. start. Yeah, look. Was a pretty good game. The Jaspers games do tend to be kind of like, yeah, we're playing with the cream of the crop here. Was very, very cool. The game I ran this year, I'm straight up going to be asking 3 of them to be part of the world. And not because the other 2 were shit, or the other 3 were shit, rather, but because the 3 I'm thinking of have very good logical narrative reasons to enter the world. And of course, one of the others is already in there. So it's really just 2 of them getting left out. But, yeah, I could definitely see a way for 3 of them. Fenway, the teen DM, will probably be the first. That one will be a maybe because she's in the US. And just time zones may never work for her, but there is a non-zero chance that the party in the Humblewood, not in Barovia, will be going to the plane of life soon. And if they do, they may well encounter a sweet little Mapatch fairy with a quartet of sheep. The one that I played with Kendall was very, very cool. And the one I played with MVCDM was so much fun. Like, Kendall one was fun, don't get me wrong. But the point of it was making the money. The point of it was the charity, was the donations, and making them work, and making that funny, and making it work for the audience, because they were the people who were paying. And so, with all being said and done, we didn't get a lot of D&D played. You know what I mean? Like, we actioned all of the insane bollocks that they inflicted upon us, and it was funny, and we made something of a narrative out of it, but it lacked for... It wasn't a particularly thorough story, because it got so thoroughly derailed, which is no judgment on anybody involved. It's just, it didn't feel quite as much of a D&D game as most do. Elephant Shrew Wizard, yes. Adorable. Yes. Love that. Store it, Laurite, because I want to play Major Magica set in the Avium. So store that idea. I even have a name for her. Because Jordan Littlefoot's got a girlfriend. Potentially. I don't know. You don't have to do that. Last night, Karen and I created a pair of Warforged that we now very much want to play. I would love an Elephant Shrew Wizard to play Major Magicka with. Yeah, last night we played Galatea. And yeah, we created a pair of Warforged, Cricket and Sigma. And I think they would be really sweet to put into a campaign. Yeah, at some point. Anyway, I should do the thing that I sat down to do. I actually might do that bit first, because I've already started considering it. So, Josh, I can spell. The Pirates new and improved harrowing deck of many things. So we've got cups, swords, wands, and pentacles. And the 2 through 9 of each will have an elemental effect, and their suit determines the element. And if you draw one of those, you draw again. But you don't keep drawing until you draw a Major Magicka. But because some of them will be good and some of them will be bad. Because that's also my other sort of major issue with the Deck of Many Things and the Harrowing deck. Both of them are mostly bad. And I want to balance it to about 50-50. And I also want to remove the bullshit like Skull. Like, an Avatar of Death arrives and you have to fight it. And if anybody else helps, they also get an Avatar of Death to fight. I'm like, lame. Like, I suppose the point is, my issue with it is, when you're doing D&D to be viewed, when you're doing it as a narrative story to be observed, that sort of shit can really derail an otherwise quite serious narrative. If you're just playing, beer and pretzels around a table, murder hobos, then that's not a problem at all. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking first of all. I'm not COVID, I promise. Right. So 2 through 9. Shall we say cups is... What would cups make sense to be? Acid? Pentacles. Because there's like 8 elements, isn't there? There's like 8 sort of... I reckon Pentacles would be Radiant / Necrotic. DM's discretion. Yeah, my players in my Candlekeep came a bag of beans and they managed to grow a pyramid with a mummy lord. Thankfully, they were in the Shadowfell, so one of them used a hero point to have the Raven Queen nope the mummy lord out of there. Nice, good plan. Then it's swords, and the last one is wands. I reckon wands is lightning / thunder. And swords would be fire. There is cold as well, isn't there? Siri. Let's say we say cups is acid / poison. That was it. Pentacles is radiant or necrotic. Swords is fire / cold. And the wands is lightning / thunder. Yeah, that makes sense. It's supposed to be lighthearted, so it works. Yeah, cool. Yeah, this is the thing. It makes sense. It works in that setting. Lovely. All right. So that's that. That's what we're doing. And now we need to think of... Well, this isn't very well formatted. You can't see what I'm freaking doing. On the book. Okay. That'll do, pig. That. Now you can actually read what I'm saying. So, the twos... And I will obviously have to format this later to make it actually make sense. On the two... on a 2 of cups, you take a certain amount of acid or poison damage, say. Or maybe make it a way to weave it into the narrative. So, chat, what I'm looking for here is as many ways as possible to make that... yeah, I'm looking for, what, 8? 8 or 9, probably 9. No, 8. Variations on... oh no, it is... Yeah, it's 9 because it's 2 through 10. Yeah. Like one of them, I'm thinking their weapon becomes magical with that associated damage type, or a weapon upon their person becomes magical with that associated type. In fact, let's say that one first. Weapon upon your person becomes magical with the associated on a 3, you take the next time you would take damage, the damages increase by 66 of the associated element. Things like that. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking for. So I need a 4, a 5, a 6, 7, 8, 9, and a 10. 4. You gain immunity to the associated element. Do we want to put a time limit on it? I don't know. Let's say resistance. You gain resistance. If you already have resistance. One has to be the next time they drink anything, they get a dragon breath. Oh, yes! Love that. If you already have resistance, this increases to immunity. 4. Next time they drink anything. They get a dragon breath associated with that type. Coffee would be lightning. Lemonade with radiant. I want to keep it tied to the cups, pentacles, swords, and wands. But definitely a dragon breath style thing. Yes, that's very cool. Yeah. I like the idea that you have to take a swig of something to produce it, though, even if it's just water. So you gain the ability to make a breath weapon attack. (1d10). A 1d10 breath weapon attack of the associated element. To activate this power, you must, as part of the action, take a drink. And expel it as the breath weapon. Like that. One of my players from one of my players from Jaspers has messaged me saying, "Hey, you know that wild magic search table that you have?" And I said, "Yes." He's like, "The one that you used on Jaspers?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's just like, "Can I have that?" And I was like, "Yeah, buddy, sure. Here you go." Pure lemon juice. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, whiskey would be fire. Cool. All right, now I want some bad ones because you've got one bad one and 3 really good ones. So let's go 6. I don't want it to be just. Oh, let's have the inverse of the resistance. You gain vulnerability to the associated element. Become vulnerable to the associated element. This can only be undone with a wish spell. if you are currently resistant or immune to this element, your resistance degrades. Immunity normal You become vulnerable to the associated element. This can only be undone with a wish spell. If you are maybe not that though. Greater restoration could fix it. I'm going to remove this can only be undone with a wish spell. If you are currently resistant or immune to this element, your resistance degrades. Immunity, resistance, vulnerable, normal, vulnerable. I would like super vulnerable to be a thing. You take triple damage. Oh, shit. Oh, how about this? 7. The next time a creature makes an attack with the associated element, a creature that you can see makes an attack with the associated element. How funny would it be if this is necrotic? You become charmed by them. Oh yeah. Fun, interesting curse rules in Grimhollow. Interesting. In the manner of the charm spell. Charm person. This ignores any resistance or immunity you might possess to being charmed. After each long rest, the afflicted has to make a save. On a success, they get one more day to try to fix it. If they fail, the curse progresses to the next stage. Ooh. Oh. That's harsh. I like that. You know I do. You become vulnerable to the associated element. If you are currently yada yada yada. You keep picking up more vulnerabilities the longer the curse continues. That's rough. That's big. That's sort of next level to all of the others. Next time you would take damage, the damage is increased by 66 of the associated element. Next time a creature that you can see makes an attack with the associated element, you become charmed by them in the manner of a charm spell. It could be a friend, it could be an enemy. And this is it. A lot of the I almost want to word it so that a lot of these, the player doesn't know what they've drawn. So the DM knows. You could set it so that even if you're immune to, say, cold damage after 1d4 days, you need to make a save. On a fail, immunity becomes resistance and so on. Like a positive curse. And if they don't fix it after 4d4 days, they're vulnerable to that element. Ooh. Yeah. So they just keep getting worse at it. So they start immune, and then it gets worse? That's an interesting idea. Let's actually make that number 8. You become immune to the associated element. Roll a d4. After this many days, this immunity will degrade to resistance. After the same number of days again, it will fade completely. And after the next cycle, you become vulnerable to the damage type. That gives time to find it out and find a way to fix it. It starts out as a seemingly good thing and then gets worse. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. If this is not cured, within the same number of days, it becomes permanent, and only a wish spell can fix it. That was cool. Like that one, Ardana. So that one's, so we've got number 1 is good, number 2 is bad, number 3 is good, number 4 is good, number 5 is bad, number 6 is bad. So we've got 3 and 3, with 8 being a technically probably a bad one, but it starts out kind of good. And I reckon like all of these, the DM is encouraged to keep them close to their chest. Like if you rolled number 3, next time you would take damage, the damage is increased by 66 of the associated element. The DM says, "Oh, you have drawn the 3 of cups. Interesting," and puts it on the table. And they're like, "But what does that mean?" And the DM's like, "You'll find out." Like, you gain resistance to the associated element. I think you could probably tell the player that, you know. you become vulnerable to the associated element. Like, I reckon you could do it like you gain resistance to the associated element, but you don't tell them until it would be relevant. But that means that the DM has to remember it. Alright, we need a 9 and a 10. What else can you do with elements? All magical attacks made by the player become this element, regardless of what they try to do. Colored by / made of this, the associated element, e.g. fireball becomes acid ball. Shape water boils it instead. Mage Hand becomes tinged with acid. Message leaves the recipient's ears stinging. Etc. I quite like that one. As does Adana. Good. And number 10. And I think if you roll one of these, if you draw one of these, you're allowed to draw again. You're allowed to choose whether or not you draw again. You can and you can have another if you like. Like if you get and the next thing you have that happens to you explodes. You're like, oh, good. I'm good. Actually, I'm fine. Thanks. Yeah, Mage Hand just leaves a slick of acid on whatever it touches. Could be handy, literally. But if you had, I don't know, cold for example wouldn't be a problem. Cold would be kind of neat. This is just leaves your ears numb. If you get messaged by someone with the cold effect. or warm if it's fire, you know. The chill of the grave slithers up your spine as you hear a message in your ears. You're like, yeah, it's a necromancer. It's necrotic. All their magic is necrotic. Dead fish handshake, literally. Yeah. I'm thinking though, like healing magic becomes death tinged. It would still heal though. It's just not ideal. Healing magic does still heal. But the flavor changes. Evening, Oak. Hey, Crisp and Crunch. How are you, Crunchy? I am making myself a new wild magic table. Not a wild magic table. Done that already. What am I talking about? I am making myself a new deck of many things. And I am taking the concept and running with it. I'm going to be using my tarot deck instead. For this one, I like the idea. Message and sending leaves is a feeling of that toxic person nagging you. Yeah, love that. Yeah, so I want to be able to have way more options. One of my favorite magic weapons of all time is the Dagger of Healing. Oh yeah. I think every DM has their version of that. I have mine is a Club of Healing, and it does 1d8. It does 1d6 bludgeoning damage and 1d8 healing damage, and they happen in that order. So it is entirely possible to do more damage with it than you heal. It's an excellent torture weapon. Because you bludgeon this person down to 0 hit points and then res them again. Just keep knocking them out and then waking back up again with a headache. So they feel the pain, but they also can't get hurt by it. And so yeah, the first clerics of Lovitar have entered the chat. So yes, what I have begun with is the suits. All is right in the Crunch household tonight. Our espresso machine has returned from service. Good. I am glad to hear it. I cannot empathize. Like, no, obviously, I can empathize, but it's more sort of like I can't. I've never particularly liked coffee. I am an unusual one. Coffee gives me all the symptoms of anxiety, but without any of the... And I reckon it's because I'm neurotypical. And not all neurotypical don't like coffee, but caffeine affects people with ADHD differently. A lot of stimulants do. It's why there was like, oh, just giving them speed. You're just giving them... and was like, yeah, but it affects us differently because our brains work differently. We're not just giving the speed. You ever see, like, I've known several people who self-diagnosed ADHD because speed didn't work on them. It's like, I became so productive. And it was like, no. He just became normal. And that was the trick. It's like, I had a really productive day. Oh, yeah, did you take some Dexies? Yeah, I did, actually. But not like, it was more like, yeah, I can think straight. Lovitar is the goddess of pain in Faerun. Ah, okay. Yes. Didn't know that one. Goddess of pain. Interesting. So, what I am doing at the moment is firstly doing the numbered cards in all of the suits. So, and I'm taking a bit of a shortcut because I didn't want to have to come up with, like, over 60 things. So the numbered ones, 2 through 10 of each suit, are elementally aligned. And each suit is cups are acid or poison, pentacles is radiant or necrotic, swords is fire or cold, and wands is lightning or thunder. And then each one has an associated effect with that associated element. Shortcutting, but also kind of neat. And so we have number 2 is a weapon upon your person becomes magical with the associated element. Cool. Number 3 is the next time you would take damage, the damage is increased by 66 of the associated element. I want another one that sort of does just another one that sort of hurts you, but I want a different thing. Not that. You gain resistance to the associated element. If you already have resistance, it increases to immunity. You gain ability to make a breath weapon attack, 1d10 of the associated element. To activate this power, you must, as part of the action, need a comma there, take a drink and expel it as the breath weapon. 6, you become vulnerable to the associated element. If you are currently resistant or immune to this element, your resistance degrades, going from immunity, resistance, normal, vulnerable. The next time a creature that you can see makes an attack with the associated element, you become charmed by them in the manner of the charm spell. This ignores any resistance or immunity you might possess to being charmed. 8, you become immune to the associated element. Roll a d4. After this many days, this immunity will degrade to resistance. After the same number of days again, it will fade completely. And after the next cycle, you become vulnerable to the damage type. If this is not cured within the same number of days, it becomes permanent, and only a wish spell can fix it. And number 9, all magical attacks, effects, and spells are colored. All your magical attacks, spells, and effects are colored by / made of the associated element. For example, in the case of cups, Fireball becomes Acid Ball. Mage Hand becomes Tinged with Acid. Message leaves the recipient's ears stinging, etc. Healing magic does still heal, but the way it manifests changes. So what we are looking for, Crisp and Crunch, is something like those for number 10. And I need to think of what. And I don't need to think of what, because I've got you, the wonderful Brains Trust, here. Also, check out my new fiddle. This is actually not my new fiddle, it's an old fiddle. And it's not really a fiddle. It is a sledgehammer attached to a concrete saw, but it's also a pen. And it was my fiddle all through my master's degree. It's also a really good pen. But it's very fun. It's a nice, it's quite a nice tactile thing to fiddle with. It twists about the cap because the concrete saw is the cap, and yes, it twists along its long axis. It's soft and smooth at this end. It's got a bit sharp and pointy up here. It doesn't spin, sadly, but it was in a loot crate, and I'm quite fond of it. And I found it in an old pencil case when I was cleaning out a desk drawer today, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I love that thing. And the pen's still good, which I was very happy to discover. So I need a 10. I need the number 10. Big money, no whammies. No, I wanted to be a big whammy. Ooh. How about, for the next, any attack on you made with that element does increase damage. Well, that's just your, you become vulnerable to it, which we've already got. How about an roll a d6, that many orbs of oh, thanks, alright. Good wielding of the sword. That many orbs, a d6 number of orbs of that associated element begin floating around you. And you can, as an action, send them off as a magic attack, as a ranged spell attack, using your dexterity modifier, or using your using your spell attack modifier, I would say. because they'll probably already have one, and if they don't, then yeah, we can work out. The DM could work one out. Intelligence, unless they're with their highest mental stat. Let's say with the highest mental stat. However, if they don't use them they don't use them all. They last until they are used. But if they don't use them within that D6 number of days, they will all, at the beginning of the 7th day, say, strike you at once, and you don't know that. But if you roll a nat 1, they explode in your face. Any orb that is not used in the next X number of rounds causing damage to you. Yeah. I reckon, yeah, snap. Yes, exactly. Okay, cool. We are agreed. So, let us say, yes. Roll a d6. That many orbs made of the associated element. That many orbs made of the associated element appear and orbit you at a leisurely pace. You may, as an action, expend one of these orbs to make a ranged spell attack using your highest mental stat for the attack modifier. That's for that many minutes? Ooh, yeah, alright. Hours. I like hours. Okay, hours. Or if you haven't used them by the following day. By the following morning. To give them that day. Yeah, sunrise. Yeah. End of a long rest. Yes, end of the long rest. Yeah. At a leisurely pace. These deal... What do we reckon? 46? You want to make them like, hey, use this. It's good. 46. Of the associated type. Oh, but if they miss, they come back. Yeah, if they miss, they bounce back on you. Yeah. If you miss, however, the orb returns and you are obliged to make a Dex save against your spell save. DC. Taking the damage yourself. Damage. On a fail or as much on a success. If there are any unused orbs at the end of your next long rest, they all target you. Immediately. With the same effects. The dex saves. Make the required. There we go. We must make the required dex saves. This one can be quite powerful, but also comes with a significant risk. Missed attacks may cause you damage, unused attacks do cause you damage, but you don't know until you rest. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I like that one. Particularly as you're using your highest mental stat. So, you know, you should have a decent chance of it working. And 4d6 is a lot of damage to deal. To just sort of, boom, there it is. And the range is infinite. I have not specified a range. I should probably specify a range. These attacks deal 4d6 of the associated type and have a range of, let's say, 200 feet. Like magic missile. I'm trying to induce them to use it. 120 feet's quite a long way. Yeah, I reckon 120. 120 feels right, yeah. Because very few maps are bigger than 120 feet anyway. Cool. Alright, lovely. So, next. That's our 2 through 10s. So now we need to talk aces, face cards, and the major arcana. So the major arcana, there are, I believe, 22? Actually, not sure how many major arcana cards there are. Let's have a look, see. I think it's 20. Wheel of Fortune is number 10. The Empress. The Tower is number 16. 3 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. The Emperor is number 4. 9 of Cups. Sun is number 19. The Lovers is number 6. 15 is the Devil. Love these things so much. They're so pretty. Oh, wow. We went for a while. Oh, that's right. The Hermit's number 9. Death is number 13. 17 is the Star. 21 is the World. 20 is Judgment. 12 is the Hanged One. 11 is Strength. Yeah, they all happen simultaneously. The Magician. The 4 of Swords. 2 of Swords. Oh my god, the King of Swords. Check out the King of Swords. Ready? Page of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 10. Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. All the queens were next to each other. Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles. The Hierophant is number 5. The High Priestess is number 2. The King of Cups, Justice. King of Cups goes there. Justice. Temperance, the Crab. That's number 14. Number 7 is the Chariot. Number 18 is the Moon. And the Fool, which is a baby turtle, which is a bit mean on the baby turtle. I think 21 by the looks of it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2. There are 22. Because there's a 0, of course. The Fool. So 22, which does track. Because you use your major arcana to do it. Duh. Throne, the Vizier, the Star. A lot of them are, but not all of them. Moon is in here. Fool is in here. Chariot. Don't see a chariot. And there's things like Euralian, Dungeon. Yeah. Cool. So, now we need to... No, not you. That one. Yeah, I reckon now, if I can copy and paste a list. Major Arcana. Tarot. Oh, interesting. So there are... The one I have would appear to be Rider-Waite. Yes. There are different kinds. They all have different names. Yes. That's unhelpful. The Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress. Oh yeah, the High Priestess is a wolf. Oh, pretty. I mean, they're all pretty. What am I even saying? But the Paul Christian ones, the Fool is the crocodile. The Magician is the Magus. The High Priestess is the Gate of the Sanctuary, or the occult sanctuary. The Empress is Isis Urania. And it's the Empress in almost every other single one, except Paul Christian and Italia, which is Night and Day. The Thoth Tarot by Aleister Crowley, and they're named differently, but they mean the same thing. Yeah. It's Golden Dawn, Oswald Worth, the Book of Thoth. There you go, Crowley. Yeah. Most of them are named the same by the looks of it. The Magician would be the Magus. The Priestess, the High Priestess is just the Priestess. The Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot. Justice and Strength and Adjustment are all the same thing. Hermit, the Veiled Lamp, the Traitor, the Wise Man are all the same. The Wheel of Fortune is the same in almost all of them except Paul Christian, in which it is the Sphinx. Some have Justice and Strength flipped by the looks of it. Although Strength, where most of them is Strength, in the Book of Thoth one, it's Lust. The Hanged Man is pretty similar all across, though one of them is the Prudence or the People, or the Sacrifice, which does track. Yeah, interesting. I knew none of these things. I love learning new things. I'm just looking for a list, but there isn't just one list, unfortunately. So I want Rider-Waite is the ones I've got. But I can't, if I just copy-paste all of them, I copy-paste all of them. I don't want the entire list. Never mind, I'll just have to write them out. The Fool. Fool. The Magician. Magician. The High Priestess. The Empress. Emperor. Emperor, actually, isn't it? Emperor, yeah. Get that right? The High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, the Strength. Hierophant, Lovers, the Chariot, and Strength. The Hierophant, which I would label as a priest. But I think it actually, in most of the others, it's the Pope. Yeah, High Priest. Yeah, the Lovers. The next one. Lovers. Leviers. I could just do it from this, hey. The Magician, the High Priestess. The Hierophant, Strength. And one is number 12. Number 20. 12. Reorganizing these is not necessarily the easiest way to go about doing this. 15. The Lovers is number 6. The Emperor goes before the Hierophant. And then we have the Magician, the High Priest. Empress, there it is. High Priestess. The Fool goes there. The Chariot. Strength is number 9. Oh, in this one, the Strength is number 9. Do I, in fact, not have this one? Strength. Oh no, it's number 11. I may have Golden Dawn. Yes, it does appear I do. Yeah. Lovers. Leviels. Wheel of Fortune. The Star. The Moon. Yes, number 8 is Justice. Yeah. Number 8 is Justice. 7, 8. Number 9 is the Hermit. Yeah, number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. Strength, the Hanged One, Death. Yep. Temperance. The Devil. Which is the Pitcher Plant. Should probably find my deck. So I can use the deck of many revised things at some point. Yes. The deck of many revised things. I quite like that. The Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, the World. There we go. All right. And a few of these I don't mind, like what they already are. We've got the Empress, the Lovers, the Hierophant, the Chariot. Harriot. Yes. Justice. So, in fact, this is called what one? Golden Dawn is the one I have, apparently. Oh, the Blasted Tower. I just have the tower, which actually might mean the Oswald Worth. Priestess. I just have... Do I have just the Priestess or the High Priestess? I have the High Priestess. Okay. I'm not sure. I think it's mostly Golden Dawn, but my tower is called the Tower, not the Blasted Tower. Justice, the Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. I imagine it would probably say in this book that I've got right here. But they all mean the same thing anyway. Strength is number 11. Hanged One. Death. One of the ones I don't like. Temperance. The Devil. Yeah, I've just got the Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Which is a capybara. A happy little capybara. Hey, Chaotic Goblin, how are you, my friend? I am making a new deck of many things. It's going quite well. Then we have Judgment. And the World. Cool beans. That's the major arcana. And now I want to attach something to each of them. So, in the deck of many things, what does Euryale qualify as? Queen of Spades, interestingly. Okay. And Euryale does what? Euryale, the card's Medusa-like visage curses you. You take a -2 penalty on saving throws and will be cursed in this way. Only a god or the magic of the Fates card can end this curse. Whereas the Harrowing deck, Euryale, a comet flies overhead. The player who drew this card gains a +10 to their AC, but their armor breaks. So let's go through, first of all. Oh no, my fiddle broke. Oh, I can fix it, I'm sure. Yeah, there we go. And find the ones that match up. And if there's any that I actually want to keep. Because, for example, the Fool, anytime the character lies with the true intent to deceive, they turn into a random CR 1/2 beast for an hour. I'm alright, just working. Is this a good deck or a bad deck of many things? It's a sort of both. Deck of many things. Yeah. That's the Harrowing deck version of the Fool card. Whereas the Deck of Many Things Fool card, you lose equivalent to a level of XP. Counting both draws as one of your declared draws. If losing that much XP would cause you to lose a level, you instead lose an amount that leaves you with just enough to keep your level. Wow, okay. Gem. 25 pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 gold pieces each, or 50 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each appear at your feet. That's kind of cool. Idiot. Permanently reduce your intelligence by 1d4 plus 1 to a minimum of 1. Oh, yeah. You can draw one additional card beyond your declared draws. Wow. Jester, you can gain 10 1,000 experience, or you can draw 2 additional cards. Key, a rare or rarer magic weapon with which you are proficient appears in your hands. The DM chooses the weapon. Knight, you gain the service of a 4th level fighter who appears in a space you choose within 30 feet of you. The fighter is the same race as you and serves you loyally until death, believing the fates have drawn him or her to you. You control this character. Moon, you are granted the ability to cast the Wish spell 1d3 times. Oh. Rogue, a non-player character of the DM's choice becomes hostile towards you. The identity of your new enemy isn't known until the NPC or someone else reveals it. Nothing else than a wish spell or divine intervention can end the NPC's hostility to you. Ruin, all forms of wealth that you carry or own other than magic items are lost to you. Portable property vanishes, businesses, buildings, and land you own are lost in a way that alters reality the least. Any documentation that proves you should own something is lost to the card. It is lost too. This card also disappears. Skull, you summon an avatar of death. Hate that one. Star, increase your ability scores, one of your ability scores by 2. The score can exceed 20, but can't exceed 24. Sun, you gain 50,000 experience points and a wondrous item appears in your hands. Talon, every magic item you wear or carry disintegrates. Artifacts in your possession aren't destroyed, but do vanish. We have had that one. That happened to Helvig. That happened to Bennick, rather. It's Talons. A magic item. All magic items that your character owns disintegrates immediately. Yep. Throne. Your character inherits a noble title. Expertise in persuasion and... Wow. 150,000 gold pieces soon after drawing this card. Oh, hey! We are being raided! Lost Archives, thank you very much for the raid, you bloody champions. Avast, mateys! You wee scallywags! We be doing a bit of homebrewing, Owen. Guess what? Guess who? Hello. Yes, guys, favorite raid emotes up in chat. How are you guys? Yeah, it is the exclamation mark shout out. Adana. At the Lost Archives. That one. Normally. There you go. That's how we do. Yeah, everybody has their own. I couldn't make it do the exclamation mark SO. That's the one that comes with me, with the channel. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for the raid. We are building a new deck of many things, but using a full tarot deck for it, rather than just the 22 options the deck of many things would normally have, because I like more variety. I like more chaos. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I have done thus far all of the number cards in a standard deck. So the 2 through 10 are all elementally aligned. Cups means acid or poison. Pentacles means radiant or necrotic. Swords means fire or cold. Wands means lightning or thunder. DM's discretion. Then a 2, for example, a 2 of Pentacles, would mean a weapon upon your person becomes magical with the associated element, that being radiant or necrotic. Kinda neat. On the other hand, number 3, the next time you would take damage, the damage is increased by 66 of the associated element. So in the case of Pentacles, radiant or necrotic. Could be really shitty. So yeah, there's this balance that I'm looking to find of about 50-50 good and bad. It's the other thing I wouldn't make a note of. Number cards carry with them the option to draw again for free. Once. Didn't mean to capitalize that, but it is very stressed. Once for free. Hey, Absalom Duck. Good to see you, buddy. How are you? So that's the number cards. We've got 2 through 10s. We need to do the aces, ace, king, queen, and jack and page, knight and page rather, of each suit as well as the major arcana. But I thought we'd tackle the major arcana first because it's fun. And a few of them you can port straight over from the deck of many things. Throne, you gain proficiency with the persuasion skill, and you double your proficiency bonus on checks made with that skill. In addition, so you gain expertise. You gain the rightful ownership of a small keep somewhere in the world. However, the keep is currently in the hands of monsters, which you must clear out. I prefer that one. Is Throne one of the actual things? I don't think it is it? The Tower. I think we could use the Tower for that. Yeah. I think we'll make that the Tower. Claim the keep as yours. Very well. Tower. I like that one. Expertise. I'm good. Just been putting some maps into my World Anvil main D&D world. How are you? I am very well, my friend. Yes, I am recovered from the weekend, which was fairly heavy duty. I was a little burned out by the end of it. With the exception of Sunday, this is my 9th day straight of streaming. But I did get Sunday off. But I didn't really get Sunday off because I did have this is my 9th day straight of doing something performative. Let's put it that way, because I spent 3 hours on Sunday morning being a pirate at an event, which in a lot of ways is quite similar to streaming, and it's why I enjoy streaming, because it tickles my performance itch, my live performance itch, but it also is not draining exactly, but spoilers, the person you see here, the me that you see on stream isn't me. It is a it is a slightly heightened version of me. You are getting basically Josh, but and I expect the same is true for most streamers. I know for example that the Dead Aussie Gamer is a full persona he puts on. You may not be aware of it, but Dag is not like that in real life. He's a much more likable person. It's a stage face, exactly right, Crunchy. Yeah, it's a stage face, but maintaining that. And maintaining that degree of energy and engagement for 3 hours straight, or however long I stream for, is quite tiring. Even just mentally, and even to a degree physically taxing, even though I'm just sitting fucking down. Well, imagine doing that, but also you're wandering around and being very physical. It's exhausting. 3 hours of live performance, regardless of what you are doing, is tiring. And I expressed that once to a group of mates, who none of them ever did live performance. Like, James used to do stage at school, like we were in drama together, but he never did much in terms of real performance. And even when he was doing drama, he was one of those guys who took drama as a cop-out subject, who's like, oh, okay, I can just chill in this one, it doesn't really matter, it's not going to be marked. And that was fine, and no judgment, but that's not what I did. I love presenting, but once I turn off, I cannot be nice for the next hour or so afterwards. I often need to go and be alone. Not always, but often I need to go somewhere very quiet and be alone for a while. I will often take the dog for a walk, particularly if it's at night, because the park will be black and quiet. And I will just walk and often talk aloud to myself, just processing my thoughts verbally. It's my own particular neurodivergent way of sort of sorting my thoughts out. I used to do it to help with insomnia, because it wasn't really insomnia. My brain just wouldn't shut up. Not true insomnia. But yeah, nowadays I can do it with a book. It's more like refocusing than just losing focus completely. But yeah, after streaming, Karen and I just have to have at least an hour before we can sleep because we're just pinging. It's not so bad when I'm just sitting talking during the homebrew, but if it's a role play heavy session, yeah, we need to decompress for a while. So there's that. You gain expertise in persuasion. In addition, you gain rightful ownership of a small keep somewhere in the world. Or property. Property. Somewhere in the world. Property. Property. Somewhere in the world. However, it is currently in the hands of monsters, which you must clear out before you can claim it as your own. Cool. Like that one. The Vizier. At any time you choose, within 1 year of drawing this card, you may ask a question in meditation and mentally receive a truthful answer to that question. Besides information, the answer helps you solve a puzzling problem or other dilemma. In other words, the knowledge comes with wisdom on how to apply it. Again, I like that one and would probably attach it to the Hierophant. Because there is no Vizier. Yeah, let's attach that one to the Hierophant. Possibly the Hermit. The Void. Oh yes, while my stream persona isn't that different from in real life me, it's still draining. And DMing is like that times 10. Yeah, the biggest drain is how my brain works, connecting all thoughts and strands of information input immediately as it comes out, as it comes in, and I don't know how to switch it off. I would also add, Laurite, that you're streaming a language that you don't, I don't believe you speak at home. You're streaming in English, and that's not your first language, so you're also doing a certain amount of translating in your head, which I imagine is even more mentally taxing. So yeah, extra difficulty if you're doing it in a language that isn't your first. The Void. This black card spells disaster. Your soul is drawn from your body. No, English is technically my third language, though I don't really speak my first language anymore. Yes. Your soul is drawn from your body and contained in an object in a place of the DM's choice. One or more powerful beings guard the place. While your soul is trapped in this way, your body is incapacitated. A wish spell can't restore your soul, but the spell reveals the location of the object that holds it. You draw no more cards. I like that, but I don't... It's too extreme. Your soul is drawn from your body and contained in an object in a place of the DM's choice. One or more powerful beings guard the place. While your soul is trapped in this way, I don't want your body to be incapacitated. You're still capable of doing stuff, but you become soulless. Yeah, I'm going to change it. I think it changes the way magic works for you, and the way you would now register as an undead by any measure. While streaming, I'm just trying not to lose it and start swearing at every other word, but it's tough, especially when commentating on stuff. Yep. What are the effects of soulless? Yeah, I'm thinking all of your magic becomes... I think a person without a soul can't cast magic. and will read as a fiend. Thus undying. Yeah. Aren't elves soulless in Forgotten Realms? Ooh, quite possibly. Yeah, it's more like, yeah. I feel like this is probably more for me in my own headcanon. You lose the ability to do like astral projection and things like that, because that requires projecting your soul, essentially. Yeah. I think it's neat. Oh dear. The Void. I almost want that to be death. Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune. No. The Hanged One, Death, Temperance, the Devil. Power, the Star, the Moon, Sun, Judgment, the World. I reckon that's death. Lose things that require a soul/soul tether. Yeah. Fiend is better. Yeah, I think Fiend is better. Let's copy paste that one. And we slap that in as death, because I ain't using what the death one is. Your soul is drawn from your body and contained in an object in a place. Like, I don't want it to completely incapacitate them, because that's boring. You know? That means they're incapable of doing anything, and they just have to sit there until everybody rescues them, which they then immediately have to do. I want it to be, you... How about this? Instead of your soul, it is your soul mechanically, but it is your soul narratively, but mechanically, yeah. The mechanical effect is you lose all ability to cast magic. And your abilities become those of a fighter or rogue, your choice, of the same level. Death is the Scorpio card. What is death in this one? I think death is the pitcher plant. No, that's the devil. Death is a pair of axolotls in this one. And it's the devil is the pitcher plant. A fighter or rogue, your choice, of the same level. But the spell reveals the location of the object that holds it. You draw no more cards. Wait, if elves are soulless and I'm a ginger, does that make me an elf? Because I thought I was a goblin. You could be a ginger goblin. You'd still be soulless one way or t'other. Don't worry, buddy. While your soul is trapped in this way, the mechanical effect is you lose all ability to cast magic, and your abilities become those of a fighter or rogue, your choice, of the same level. You become a fiend for the purpose of detecting evil and good and similar spells, and cannot astrally project. Yeah. A wish spell can't restore your soul, but the spell reveals the location and the object that holds it. You draw no more cards. Yeah, I think that's better. It's nowhere near as like, oof. Sun. I like Star. You increase one of your ability scores by 2. That's cool. We'll keep that. That one's fairly simple. Star. Sun, you gain 50,000 experience points on a wondrous item. I reckon just you gain a level. The Sun, yeah. You gain... I actually kind of like you gain 1 level in a specific class. You gain 1 level of Paladin or Cleric, your choice. Sun. No. We'll keep that for... the Knights. Points to exactly make your next level. Yeah. You gain experience. Gain enough XP to level up. Again, enough experience points to level up. Yeah. I reckon... the Knights of... The Knights cards... You gain a level in Paladin Cups. What if you only needed 10 XP for the next level? I mean, yeah, that sucks. Well, so here's the thing. Level 1 players probably aren't going to be getting a deck of many things. This is probably only going to come into play at level 5 or more, at which point you're talking like a fairly long while between... You're talking quite a bit of experience points. I have never played a game where we played with XP. I've only ever done Milestone. But, that being said, I play almost exclusively with the... I have played very few beer and pretzel games. It's almost exclusively online or to be viewed in some manner. Like, even the podcast is pre-recorded, but it is to be viewed. So, there is that. It's all... The narrative is the point. But for me, that's the point anyway. Like, I wouldn't want to play the other way. Keeping track of your XP is a pain in the ass. My dad did it for about 5 sessions out of curiosity. The very first game I ran, the first campaign I ran, but he was curious basically just to see how much he killed, yeah, I said, oh, out of curiosity, how many experience have you got? And he's just like, oh, I gave up long ago. It was really boring keeping track. I was like, yes, yeah, it is. It's really boring. Also, the DM has to decide how much experience is gained from a social interaction. Otherwise, it's just murdering shit, which makes it more about murder hoboing than anything else. So yeah, I don't the Knights cards, you gain a level of Paladin for Cups. I'm thinking all the half casters. I'm thinking Ranger. I've done it a few times, but only when using a GM managed VTT. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair. That one makes sense. Because that keeping track like is digital. Is there only 3 Heartcasters? Oh no. Okay. Yeah. You gain a level of Paladin for Cups. It's Rangers and Artificers. Wands will be Artificers. So. Wands. Ranger. And Warlock. It depends on the players. I had one recently where I said all the ways of earning XP were on the table, but all that one person wanted to do was kill everything. That would have been very trying. Or at least I would have found it very trying. You may be different from me. You may be built differently, and you may enjoyed that. I had a party of motor hobos once, and it broke me. I to the point where I didn't want to play with them anymore. And I eventually said to them, guys, I'm sorry, I don't want to do this anymore. And they were like, oh, we're having a really great time. We're really sorry you don't want to. Why not? And I said, because you guys just kill everything. And you're really quite abusive to the NPCs. And they're like, yeah, we're just having fun. And I was like, the problem is, and I don't think you understand this, every time you're a dickhead for no reason to an NPC who's done you no wrong, you're doing that to me. I'm the person who's obliged to have that conversation with you. And it's not fun for me. Because I'm doing my level best to like roleplay it properly. And about half of them were taking it seriously, but the other half were just fucking motor hoboing it. And I tried to gently like teach them a lesson, if you will. They both demanded extra magic items for completing a quest, or before they'd even done the quest. They were asked to perform a job that they would have done it anyway. But because they were being asked, they were like, all right, well, you have to give us all the magic items you can. So eventually I was like, you know what, fuck it. So the DM of it was the headmaster of the Avium. This was in a Humblewood game, not my current world, but yeah. He gave the 2 who were being real dicks about it magic items that would be absolutely useless and could not leave the Avium. And he gave everybody who wasn't a dick about it a token of protection, a +1 to their AC for the next. It'd last for about a week. And I was like, you guys weren't dicks. Here you are. A temporary buff for not being a prick. I had to end the campaign. I gave them a ship to go anywhere and do anything they wanted, and all they wanted to do was sell it. Wow. Yeah, Absalom Deck, that sounds shitty. Yeah. Yeah, no. So yeah, I was like, I gave one of them a freaking lightsaber. Like, one of them was a lightsaber, but I knew what they were going to do was it did poison damage. It was a green lightsaber that did poison damage, and I knew they were going to be exclusively fighting undead. Hey, Ellie B. So it was useless to them, which is funny to me. And I gave it to them, and he took one swing with it once, determined that it did nothing. He was like, you dick. And I was like, no, you were the dick. And that's why. And the other one had a bunch of spells. Got given a magic hat, a wizard's hat, that contained a bunch of bound spells that were absolutely useless for the current situation. And would only have not worked. Like, a couple of them he cast, but it didn't work on the creatures. Like, one of them was... basically, all of the spells were... like, levels of exhaustion or... what's the word? Yeah, imposes status effects. And status effect, like undead, most undead are almost immune to status effects, and they're immune to exhaustion. So yeah, he was just like, you gave us both magic stuff that doesn't work. And I said, yeah. And they're like, well, we'll just save it for later. And I said, it can't leave the Avium. And they're like, sure. So they took it, They stole it and left the avium, and the next time they checked, it wasn't in the pockets. I'm like, did you take our magic items? And I said, I told you, they literally can't leave the avium. They are bound to it magically. They just teleport. As soon as you took them out of it, it teleported back to the dean's office. And they were like, oh. And I was like, and you never checked. You could have determined that if you'd looked. The paladin in my Wednesday was given 2 magic items by his goddess. He sold the bone scythe and threw away the dagger. Yeah. Bad experiences are like, but it was a learning experience as well. And I TPK'd them in the end. Yeah. And they were like, where did that come from? I was like, you pissed off too many people in the world. You also pissed off the DM. But you pissed off too many people in the world, and a lot of them ganged up on you and took you out. And they were like, yeah, that was kind of unexpected. And I was just like, well, you pissed off too many people. The Dean of the Avium wanted you dead. He's supposed to be friendly to you. That's how badly you were behaving. Yeah, murder hobos. Exactly, LEB. They make it not fun for the DM. Unless... And it is why expectations are really important to state at the outset. If you are concerned that you may have a party of murder hobos on your hands, or you straight up just don't know the people you're playing with, you should state from the outset that murder hobos is not what you are looking for. It was unexpected to you. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I should have predicted it, really, because they were all drunk. And I know the guys really well, because they're really good mates of mine. And we still are. We just don't play D&D anymore. Anyway, so Pentacles and what's the last one? Swords. Yeah, Ranger makes sense for swords. And Warlock, Pentacles. That's cool. Yeah, that's probably fair, LEB. It's not something I've considered. That being said, I would say some of my players are some of my closest friends. Brendan in my Thursday night game, pardon me, and Rachel in my Monday night game are both extremely close friends. And Ro is also quite a close friend of mine. In the Monday night game. I don't know Jack particularly well. I've never physically met him, nor have I met Daria in the meet space. And those are my current 6 players. And then I've married too, one of the others. So, yeah. Yeah, in my current games, I would say Brennan and Ro are pretty darn good friends of mine. Rach is an extremely good friend. I'm literally married to Karen. And I literally have never met Jack and Daria, but I am very fond of both of them. Like if both of them said, I want to move to WA and I need a hand or a place to live for a while when I get there, I would be like, yes, come and stay. Yeah, but not Karen. Yeah. But yeah, it depends on the friends. And this is the trick. I am blessed that most of my friends are performers. And this is the one group that isn't, noteworthily, were the problem. But it was during COVID, and it was just every Friday night because we were all free. Yeah, we all hung out on Discord and played D&D. And I ran most of the book for Humblewood with them. They fought Kral. It was good, though, because it actually gave me the practice time. I got to learn the game. I got to learn that world and figure out my own relationship with it, which was quite neat. Not yes and humans, exactly, LEB. That was pretty much it. They did not have that innate understanding, that innate training. Some of them were quite experienced role players. Mark is a DM, as was Tim, and Mark was one of the worst offenders, and Tim was one of the best. Tim was the one you could normally rely on to get it back on track if they were just being dicks. Tim's character has actually appeared in my world. Even though Tim has not. And Tim, I would love Tim to come and play Ool. Ursine Ool, the Ool, is a member of the Bandit Coalition / the Wildbird Brigade. He works for Kesh Glitterweave, and he's just this massive strig. And he's a barbarian. He's a strig barbarian. An owl barbarian was the idea. And he just loved the concept. So yes, the Ool. The Ool does not understand money at all, which means he has no desire for it. Because whenever he wants something, he just takes it. But he also has quite a strong moral code, so he knows that if somebody else clearly values it, he shouldn't. But he has very simplistic desires. He likes drinking and food. That's basically it. Drinking, food, and violence. There's just three big things. He didn't even show any particular propensity to like to get laid. So it was really just those three things, all of which are relatively cheap or free. So yeah, as long as you kept him fed and watered, you had no problem with him at all. He refused trinkets, as he called them. He was like, why would I want these trinkets? And it was like, well, you can give them to people and they will give you food or booze. You love beer. He's like, people give me beer anyway. I do not need to give them trinkets. It was like, they give you beer because they're terrified of you. Yes! Exactly, so why do I need the trinkets? Because then they wouldn't have to be terrified of you. But they are terrified of me. I am terrifying. The guy I was talking about started with 0 or first ed, and he still plays like he did when he started as a young teenager. Not interested in the least amount in roleplay. Oh, the Ool is great. The Ool is a little bit of a nightmare, but in the group, he worked perfectly. Because the rest of them are like haggling with the shopkeeper for the next, with the quest giver for the next mission. They're like, yeah, but we actually want 120 gold pieces. He's like, come, tiny ones! And literally pick up a couple of the ones who were being the problem and leave. And they're like, but, we could get a better deal. No! Yeah, Ool is fun. And dead set, the only one of them I really wanted to keep. Then there were the Porter brothers who played Roland Dented Shield, a Gerbine cleric. Cleric. Yeah, he was a cleric. And as in Roland Dented Shield. And Kay, who was a Mapatch Ranger, and he was a red panda. And Kay was just that could sum up, that one movement could sum up Kay's like, oh god. And then the two biggest problems were also like my best mate of the whole lot of them, Hippie and Mark, who I don't particularly. Mark's fine. Mark's great. And like this is it. All five of them, I'm like, normally I love these guys, but Mark and Hippie made it really hard. And Hippie was Hippie played Barristone the Wise, who was a wizard, but he wasn't. He was a fighter. And he and I had secretly redone everything, all of his attacks as magic. So he had a couple of stones that he'd just drawn lightning on with crayon and would just throw them at people. So we're doing a lightning ball attack, and people are like, is that a spell? He's like, yes, lightning ball. And it's just bludgeoning damage. And yeah, he had a magic staff that he would hit people with. He would cast blast. He basically had a and Mark was like, did you homebrew a whole bunch of spells for him? I'm like, no. It took them 5 or 6 sessions to realize he wasn't a wizard. Because he acted like a wizard. Like, he kept being like, oh no, please don't hit me. He was very wizardly in that regard, but he was a fighter. And by the time they realized that he wasn't a wizard, he became an Eldritch Knight and was a wizard. I was a Gerbine fighter in my tiny campaign that sadly got cancelled for reasons. Oh, lame. Gerbine fight. Like, I love the idea of Gerbine in, like, martial roles. These tiny little... It's like a halfling. Like, you want that. Well, if you're a Gerbine and you happen to get the Knight of Cups, you could be a paladin. Just a little bit. I think that one's cool. Right, let's have a look. Don't get too distracted. Talents. Every magic item you wear or carry disintegrates. That one's rough as fuck. However, I want some of them to be rough. There has to be risk. So let's keep it. maybe not disintegrates, but disappears. Yes. Nice stack. I'm playing with a Goblin Eldritch Wizard on Sunday. He's a fighter who acts like a thief. Yeah, I reckon it disappears and appears in a dungeon guarded by something quite nasty. What's that one? That's Talons. Okay, that's not anything in this. The Hanged One, the Devil, Temperance, the Moon, the Sun, the World. Could be the World. Every magic item on you you wear or carry disappears. The next few days, you will receive a letter alerting you to their location from the being that now has them. That leaves it open-ended so the DM can make it horrible or not. Well, he's still a thief. My Tabaxi Wild Magic Sorcerer acts like a thief because that's what he was until a magic surge set a mansion on fire when his life was in danger. Well, he's still a thief, but now he can cast spells. Every magic item you wear or carry disappears. In the next few days, you will receive a letter alerting you to their location from the being that now has them. Ruin. All forms of wealth you carry or own other than magic items are lost to you. I like that one as well because it's narratively interesting. You can build it in narratively in a long-form narrative. I think it was all forms of wealth that you own other than what is on your person. Didn't you do that one to Red last week? Yes. Yes, I did. Temperance? The Chariot? The Hermit? I think that's the Hermit. Because you don't have a house now. All forms of wealth you carry that you... All forms of wealth you own that you own... other than magic items and what is in your... Other than magic items, the clothes on your back, and what is in your pockets. Is lost to you. Portable property vanishes. Businesses, buildings, and land you own are lost in a way that alters reality. The least any documentation that proves you should own something lost to you to this card also disappears. Yeah. Yeah, that was very funny. The look on her face was priceless. The clothes you are wearing and that you are carrying. I reckon just that you are wearing. You are left with a single set of clothes, the ones you are currently standing up in. If that happens to be armor, good. And, you know, if you've got your sword on your belt, that would count. If you've got 15 gold, but if you don't, you wouldn't carry 1,000 gold pieces in your pocket because your pocket would be dragging along the ground. So, yeah. I don't mind that one. Skull, we're not doing. Rogue, a non-player character of the DM's choice, becomes hostile to you. Again, I don't mind this one. Moon, you are granted the ability to cast the wish spell 3 times. I think I want Moon to be the opposite of Sun. Because Sun in this one is... you gain enough experience points to level up. I reckon Moon, your level goes down. Clothes you're wearing. Sure, yeah. Yeah. Valid. The Moon. You lose enough experience to lose 1 full level. Isn't Void opposite of Sun? Yeah, but I don't have Void. It's not one of the major arcana. So Sun and Moon, sort of two sides of the same. In my, because I'm operating mostly in Humblewood logic, the Sun and the Moon are yin and yang. And the Void is you lose your soul gets dragged into your soul gets drawn from your body and contained in an object or place of the DM's choice. Ruin, Rogue. I don't mind Rogue. I don't mind the Moon ability either. They granted the ability to cast the Wish spell. I would just say once. A non-player character of the DM's choice. Yeah, I don't mind that one. Where do we put it? Wheel of Fortune, the Hanged One. Strength, the Devil. Ooh, the Devil. That makes sense. A non-player character of the DM's choice becomes hostile towards you. The identity of your new enemy isn't known until the NPC or someone else reveals it. Nothing less than a wish spell or divine intervention can end this NPC's hostility toward you. I think with that one, we just change it to just once, but because wish is very powerful, and I don't particularly like it. Sun and the Moon. Star. Increase one of your ability scores by 2. Yep. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, how about... it's either Wish or True Polymorph. No, that's dumb. That's silly. Because you could True Polymorph yourself into a giant dragon. Mind you, you could Wish yourself into a dragon. It's an edge case. What other 9th level spells are there? Gate, Meteor Swarm, Power Word Kill, Time Stop, Wish. Astral Projection. Prismatic Wall, Shape Change, Time Stop. Yeah, weird. True Polymorph. Imprisonment. Foresight. Druid Spells. Shape Change. Storm of Vengeance. True Resurrection. True Resurrection. True Resurrection. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. Time Stop. You no longer age. I reckon we make it. We still make it a D3. Roll a D. Yeah. Roll a D. 4. You are granted the ability to cast a spell once without the need for components. One is Wish. 2 is True Polymorph. 3 is True Resurrection. And 4 is Time Stop. Thoughts? But it's just once. Cast a 9th level spell. Thank you. I think I did it well. Okay, cool. I don't particularly like the gain the service of a 4th level fighter. Because it means I have to juggle an NPC, and a 4th level fighter isn't that good. Key, a rare or rarer magic item with which you are proficient appears in your hands. DM chooses the weapon. I don't mind that. I don't like the Jester. The Idiot, permanently reduce your intelligence by 1d4. Yeah, I like that one. The Fool. We've already got something very similar, so we will put the Idiot in as the Fool. Permanently reduce your intelligence by 1d4 plus 1. Yeah. You can draw 1 additional card beyond your declared draws, because the Harrowing Dex version of that's even worse. The Fool. Yeah. The Idiot. The character's charisma, intelligence, and wisdom scores are reduced by 1d4. Nevermore got that. And it evened out. Every single one of them became an even number. And I will go to this for the next set of ideas. Flames, a powerful evil becomes your enemy. The devil seeks your ruin and plagues your life, savoring your suffering before attempting to slay you. This enmity lasts until either you or the devil dies. Wow. Gem. I don't mind that one. It's pretty dope. That is awful to the point I would end up re-rolling. Yeah, Mitch was really cool with it. He only, he lost... I think he only lost 1 point of intelligence. Because it was 1d4, not 1d4 plus 1. And I think he rolled 4, 1, and 4. So his charisma and his wisdom dropped badly. But his intelligence didn't drop too badly. And we had it happen at the same time that he got Iralath in his head. That was why it happened. She was taking up part of his brain. 25 pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 gold pieces each, or 50 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each, appear at your feet. That's ridiculous. I would say I'm going to nerf it to 5 pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 gold pieces each, or 10 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each. But essentially the same thing. I don't mind it. It's nice. It's like, yay, I'm rich now. But for casting components, it's handy, which is why I don't hate it. That would be the Emperor, I would say. None of the others really make sense. Why have I got 2 judgments? Do I have 2 judgments? I've got justice and the judgment. Okay, those are different things. I'd say the emperor is that. I would say 5 pieces. 5 pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 gold pieces each, or 10. Still, it's an edge case, like it's unlikely. Fates. Reality's fabric unravels and spins anew, allowing you to avoid or erase one event as if it never happened. You can use this card's magic as soon as you draw the card, or at any time other than at any other time before you die. That's dope. I really like that idea. That's very, very cool. What should it be? I'm going to go to the chariot. Ureli, this card's one of you take a -2 penalty on saving throws while cursed this way. Only a god or the magic of the fates card, yeah, can end this curse. Again, I don't hate it. This card's Medusa-like visage. This card's unearthly visage curses you. A -2 penalty on saving throws whilst cursed this way. Only a god or the magic of it's not the fates anymore. It's, what are we calling it now? The chariot. Of the chariot. Yeah. Donjon. You disappear and become entombed in a state of suspended animation in an extra-dimensional sphere. Everything you are wearing and carrying stays behind in the space you occupied when you disappeared. You remain imprisoned until you are found and removed from the sphere. You can't be located with any divination magic, but a wish spell can reveal the location of your prison. You draw no more cards. I hate it. Kills the narrative of that player stone dead. Why do it? Comment. If you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster or group of monsters you encounter, you gain experience points enough to gain 1 level. Otherwise, this card has no effect. I don't hate that one. Balance your mind suffers a wrenching alteration, causing your alignment to change. Hate that one. If you're true neutral or unaligned, the card has no effect. Gross. Hate it. Just redundant. I don't want anything that enforces a change in the way the player has to be, the character has to be portrayed. Because that forces the player to do something that they may not otherwise be comfortable with. Don't like that idea at all. Alignment's fucking silly anyway. It only has meaning for stuff like that. I don't mind the comment one. If you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster, you level up. You gain 1 level. You level up. Yeah. I like that one because the player would know, and the player then has to actually manage it. And it could mean that they go looking for a fight that is easy. That they could do. And it's like, I'm going to pick a bar fight with this guy. This shrimp. Strength. That one fits there very nicely. If you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster or group of monsters you encounter, you gain experience points enough to gain 1 level. Otherwise, the card has no effect. But it's the next fight. It has to be the next fight. Yes, exactly. The dungeon card is only interesting if it's part of the narrative, like placing the space in the hells or something like that, and there's a way for the PC to escape on their own. I hate any effect that turns a PC into a damsel in distress. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't considered that, Laurite. Like, it could be that they are placed in a position that they have to now escape. But that means the DM then has to go and do a one-on-one, a series of one-on-ones. And it does phrase it like it's an extra-dimensional space. Yeah. State of suspended animation in an extra-dimensional sphere. You literally can't get out. You remain imprisoned until you are found and removed from the sphere. That's boring. The Harrowing deck does have one slightly different. Upon drawing this card, the character's psyche is trapped inside a mental dungeon. They cannot talk until another character says their name 3 times. I hate it less, but I still don't care for it. It's still like, yeah, alright, so once they figure that out, they'll just happen upon it, you know? Comet. So now I'm looking at the Harrowing deck. Balance. Upon drawing this card, the player draws 2 more cards and must choose a new card of the 2. Comet. A symbol of a rabbit's paw marks the character, and the character now critically hits on a 19. If they already critically hit on a 19, that becomes an 18. That is dope. Death. The symbol of death now marks the character. Someone they know will die if they do not kill a creature within the next day. Obviously, that is the one that Rachel drew and is still dealing with. Like, if the big bag kidnaps a PC, it's interesting. Just, no, you're out of the narrative until your party accidentally stumble upon you. It's just fucked up. Yeah, it's boring. That is as OP good as some of these have been OP bad. Yeah. Oh, as in the rabbit's paw one? Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, I know. I don't think I'll be using it. I might use it for one of the non-major arcana ones. Euralia. Comet flies overhead. The player who drew this card gains a +10 to their AC, but their armor breaks. I'm gonna nerf it, but I do love it. I do love it. Euralia. I do like that one. Had fun with that before. Let's make it the Empress. Gains a plus, let's say 5 to their AC. But their armor breaks. But they... armor melts off them and they become, for a reason of the DM's discretion, unable to wear any armor. Discretion. Discretion. Okay. Dyslexia. It's a curse. Accidentally warping the PC into the big bad's lair and they have to escape. That's interesting and can result in drama and benefit for the party and can be very dangerous for the PC who was warped there. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. That would be awesome for a monk or another unarmored class. Yeah. Crispin Crunch. So Helvig Dewpoint got it. In the Monday night game, back when he was a flesh and blood squishy boy, he was a squishy warlock, but he's a hedge. So his base AC is already 16. So he had a base AC without armor of 26. He was a warlock. He didn't wear armor anyway. Yeah. Which went to 29 when he curled up. Which he can do. And anybody who tries to hit him and fails gets hurt. Yeah, it's dope. But also broken. So, yeah. That's why I'm nerfing it. But but that's why I'm nerfing it. And that is an edge case as well. It was the best thing he could have rolled. Yeah, we've had Death, we've had Eurali, we've had Idiot, and we've had Ruin. I'm pretty sure Nevermore got Ruin as well. All wealth besides magic items vanish. Any currency turns out to dust. Businesses, buildings, property, and land you own all vanish from your ownership. I'm pretty sure that happened in Nevermore as well, but I could be wrong. I maybe just said that it did, and it wasn't actually that card. And then there is one other... Oh yeah, and Bennett got all magic items that the character owns disintegrate immediately. He got the talons. Shooting star flies across the sky. The character gains a single wish. I can't remember, because Jude did get one, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Many of these are almost game-breakingly unbalanced. Yeah. Which is why I'm nerfing them a bit. So let's have a look. Fates. Oh, this is the one Jude got. The character receives two visions of knowledge of the future. One is true, the other is false. They do not know which one is which. Which I love. Jude got that one. I remember this. Because she saw... I think Gaspard in it. Or Helvig. She saw Helvig in one of them. The High Priestess. That would make sense. Temperance. Judgment. Do it on the High Priestess. Upon drawing this card, the character immediately takes 5 to 66. Yep. We don't have that one. Jester. The character immediately changes gender. Which I think Bennick may have gotten. I think that just happened to Bennick. They do not have a gender, they must draw another card. Key. The character finds a key. It has a one-time use and will open any door, chest, or other locked barrier. It includes magical gates, arcane locks, and portals that have specific requirements. Once used, the key disappears. I quite like that one. Knight. Upon drawing this card, the character gains 2 levels in Fighter. This bypasses any requirements. The Moon. The character who draws this card gains the Lycanthropy Curse. They must roll a 1d4. 1 for Werewolf, 2 for Werebear, 3 for Werehog, 4 for Wererat. Avatar of Death. Some of them are very similar. Some of them are very different. Vizier. Anytime you choose within 1 year of drawing this card, you may ask a question in meditation and mentally receive a truthful answer to the question. I'm pretty sure I've got that in here already. Something similar. No, I don't. Okay. Anytime you choose within a year of drawing this card, you can ask a question in meditation and mentally receive the truthful answer to that question. Besides information, the answer helps you solve a puzzling problem or other dilemma. In other words, the knowledge comes with the wisdom and how to apply it. I swear I've already got this. Oh, I do. Yeah, it's the Hierophant. Boom. A void opens, releasing 1d6 plus 2 evil versions of the character which drew this card. They will appear in different parts of the world and will actively seek out the character and oppose their goals. Funny. But, oh, dear me. Yeah, funny but irritating. I like the Moon. But what we're going to do is we'll do it with a page. Instead, the Lycanthropy one. The page... you become the victim of the Lycanthropy curse. cups is what would be most appropriate for cups? Let's say wolf. Pentacles, rat. Wands, balls. And swords. There. I think that's how we do that. Tentacles. Draw the 8 of tentacles. I'm going to change the gem one. From the Emperor. I don't want that one. I'm going to make it all of the aces. Ace cards. 5 pieces of jewelry worth. Within the next day, you will come across an unlocked chest of this character. This character. No, I wanted this. I wanted you. You will come across an unlocked chest containing riches. Cups is 5 pieces of 5 pieces of 5 ornaments, 5 ornaments worth 2,000 gold pieces. Worth, I don't know, let's say 1,000 gold pieces each. In the case of swords, five gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each. Pentacles, 5 pieces of jewelry. Wow, I cannot spell for shit, hey. Jewelry. Okay. Worth 1,000 gold pieces each. Each. Oh, on a completely different note, and after checking this stream is an 18 plus, I ran across a slightly different 5e Kickstarter, Kinks and Cantrips. Interesting. You cracking me up. Noted. I am already at my Kickstarter budget for the month. I have backed the City of Gorenstadt. If you happen to have a 3D printer, I'd suggest it. It is basically they are It is the SD. They're creating the SDLs for a full, really high def village, town, city, the city of Gorenstadt. Medieval, yeah, it's SDLs for a medieval village, which is really, really cool. Very, very, and they're beautiful high def minis. And they're giving away the little townhouse one for free, which is why I where I originally found it was like, hey, you want this for free? I was like, yes, I do. I don't have a 3D printer yet, but that's my next sort of my next big present to myself and or from my family will be that. Yeah. So, cups as ornaments, swords as gems, pentacles as jewelry, and which could be said to contain smaller gems, I would allow as a DM. My wife won't let me buy any more, take up my time/brain toys, and with good reason. You have a stricter wife than I. Mind you, my wife has similar sort of spending habits. And I'm actually very frugal. It's just, Karen knows that it would actually save me money. Printing my own minis would definitely be a cheaper option. And I think I would actually paint them. I would be more likely to paint them if I had gone to the effort of printing it myself. More of a sunk cost fallacy, you know. But if it works, you know, I'll take it. Within the next day, you will come across an unlocked chest containing riches. What's great is you can tell them that they are going to come across an unlocked chest containing riches. The next one they find, they go, "Ooh, for me!" And then it's not. It's a mimic. I have backed the amazing encounters and places. CCRPG. Cool. Nice. 5 swords, gems, pieces of jewelry. And what's the other one? Wands. Josh just shut down. Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to do. 10 gems worth 100 gold pieces each. They're less valuable, but there's more of them. Won a pack of their encounters from Phoenix's channel almost a year ago, and I've been using them so much it's almost embarrassing. Yes, they do some very good stuff. CGRPG is very, very good, and I believe I won the same thing at a different time. Yeah. And it might be in the hard drive of non-recoveryness, though I don't think it is. I think I've still got it. Once, yeah, I reckon maybe 12 gems. Let's say 12 gems worth 100 GP each. The ace cards. So I only need the kings and the queens. And I actually, for the kings, magic items do the same, but and depending on the suit, it's a weapon, a piece of armor, a wondrous item, and a like a spellcasting focus or something similar. The king cards. Within the next day, you will come across a merchant who has an item for sale that he does not know the value, the true value of. It will appear unassuming, but it is actually a rare quality Swords. Magic weapon. Cups. Armor. Pentacles and wands. Yeah. Pentacles. Wands would be the magic items, would be the spellcasting thing, so this would have to be just a wondrous item. Item. Or similar. Spellcasting focus or similar. I think that's cool. I like how I'm doing the suits. I think that's I like sort of the shortcut I'm taking with it, but it's still very varied. I'm really pleased with how that's working out. So I only need one for queens. What can we do? What can we have 4 different variations of with queens? Could it be bad? We have a bad thing that happens if you draw a queen. That varies depending on the suit. Because so far it's only been good things from the face cards. Well, the Curse of Lycanthropy is bad. Off with their head. Ooh! Yeah? You are accused of a crime? The PC becomes a Doulahan for 1 hour. I don't know what a Doulahan is. What's a Doulahan? Oh, a Headless Horseman. Right. Alright, so the Queen of Cups. Your head becomes detachable. I don't hate that. I think that's really funny. Yeah. Alright, let's have the queens be 4 different bad things with very low probability of happening. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Oh. With his head. Your head becomes detachable. This causes you no pain and can, in certain circumstances, be useful. So, However, you are at disadvantage to perform any actions with your body while not while your head is not in its usual spot. That could be fun. There is a really cute Doulahan girl in an anime called The Problem with Monster Girls. Interview with my mind merged two anime titles. Interview with Monster Girls. Okay, noted. Doulahan Monster Girls. I really want to know. Oh wow, she is cute. Daily Life with a Monster Girl? Is that the one you're thinking of? That's cute. Yeah. Doulahan Monster Girls. Let me show chat what I found. The book. There we go. This person. Very helpful. Pain in the arse display capture. That is very cute. And there are other ones. Have a look. It's cute, quite a cute picture as well. And this one. Monster Musume. Lala the Doulahan. Yeah, cool. Not the one I was thinking of. Oh, okay. That's sort of the cleavage is hanging over her forehead. I'd have a scowl too. Is it this one? Interviews with Monster Girls? Is that the one you're thinking of? Tasteful underboob. Yes, exactly, MVCDM. Is that the one you mean, Ardana? Yeah, there you go. Interviews with Monster Girls, you are correct. It would be fun. I will now have to Google this and look it up later. Okay, I'm going to get back to what I was doing, because I've been going for nearly 3 hours. So I've got almost all of them. I just want to finish using the Deck of Many's Harrowing deck to fill out, because I reckon between the Harrowing deck and the Deck of Many Things, the original, I can do all of the major arcana. So we've got the Void, we've got the Vizier, but we've changed them both. The Threat, we're not doing that Void, that one sucks. The character inherits a noble title. We've already got that one. Talons, all magic items they own disappear immediately. The Sun blesses the character and they gain 2 levels. And a wondrous item. No. That's OP. Star. A shooting star flies across the sky. The character gains a single wish. We've got something very similar already. Stull. You summon the Avatar of Death. Fuck that. Ruin. All wealth besides the magic items you own vanish. Yep, got something similar. Moon. We've got something similar because that's a Werog. That's the lycanthropy one. Knight. Upon drawing this card, the character gains 2 levels in Fighter, bypassing any requirements. Key. The character finds a key. It has a one-time use that will open any door. I really like that one. we're going to do that one. That will open any door, chest, or other locked barrier. It includes magical gates and so forth. Let's put the book back up. Justice, temperance, judgment. I think the Emperor. Let's put it as the Emperor. Character finds a key. The Fool. Anytime the character lies with the true intent to deceive, they return into a random CR 1/2 beast for an hour. Fates. I like that one, but I think we've already got it. Upon drawing this card, the character's psyche is trapped inside a mental dungeon. Symbol of Death now marks the character. Someone they know will die if they do not kill a creature within the next day. It's actually really easy to avoid. That's why I actually amped it up for Trish. It's the story of a Dullahan girl and her friends, a vampire girl and a Yuki Onna girl, and their daily school life. Their PE teacher is a scubbus trying to live a normal life, and the poor human biology teacher chosen by the school board to look after the girls. Yes, I don't mind the Fool. Anytime the character lies with the true intent to deceive, they turn into a random CR beast, a CR 1/2 beast for an hour. I don't mind it. The trick is, it does force the player to tell the truth. Which imposes a restriction on the way they would choose to play their character. Which is entirely not what I'm trying to do. And it's why I'm like, I don't like it. Like, I didn't like the one about changing their alignment. I think it would just be the next time. And they become polymorphed into a random CR 1/2 beast until they are knocked unconscious in that form. What about the one that changes the character's height by enough that their armor no longer fits? Like, more like an inconvenience. That could be one of the queens. Yeah, alright. I like that. Off with his clothes. The queen of say, wands. Clothes. You grow or shrink? No, it must be grow. You grow. Roll a D. Yeah, roll a D2. A D2. You grow / grow 1. shrink to one size class. And none of your clothing or gear now fits you. Deck of fabulous things. Yes, Laurite. Yes! Absolutely. Shape, weight. Yeah. You are now unarmored. Yeah. I like that crisp and crunch. So, if we do swords and pentacles are off with something. Off with his head, off with his clothes. Off with his hair? So I went looking through my archive of random tables and I actually don't have one for the wild magic, other than the player handbook. Well, Crisp and Crunch, if you are part of our Discord, you're very welcome to utilize my wild magic table. I'm actually trying to remember, Crisp and Crunch. Have you been with us long enough that you were? And this one I got while I was trying to figure out what you used. Wild Magic Surge table variant. Ah. Oh yeah, no. I made up my own Crisp and Crunch. Yeah, if you have a look in our Discord, in the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered, you will find the... you ought to find both of the homebrewed Wild Magic tables that we made. The Wild Magic and the Wild Magic Surge ones. It has the D20, D100 mechanic. Ah! Yeah, mine does that. Queen of Hearts, all your gear now work as a cloak of many fashions and will change to always make you the most snappiest dressed person in the room. Queen of Cups is the Queen of Hearts, but yes, we can make that the Queen of Pentacles. And it could be the last one who's like, and he can keep his clothes on. Could be you become exceptionally physically unattractive. No, really, please, now. Yes, the Queen of Swords. Off with my clothes. All of you become dazzlingly attractive to all who see you. You gain a +2 bonus to your charisma score, and however, you will struggle to go unnoticed ever again. And then yeah, the opposite would be true with the please put back on the clothes, put them back on right now, or I will have you hung. The Queen of Pentacles. Back on with your clothes. You become startlingly ugly to all who see you. You lose 2 points of your charisma. You lose minus 2 points from your charisma score. But now actively pay less attention to you. Granting a situational bonus to stealth. It could grant a situational bonus to stealth. Like, it wouldn't necessarily work. For example, an animal isn't going to care if you're trying to sneak up on it, but in a crowded marketplace, people are like, "Well, don't look at the ugly guy. You're gross." Maybe. I think that one's balanced because we've got the other one now. So yeah, off with his head, off with his clothes, off with my clothes, back on with your clothes. With his clothes. I think we need the explanation. Well, I think we need them all then, don't we? Alright, so that's all the suit cards. So we just need the Magician, the Lovers, Justice, Temperance, and Judgment. I reckon Justice, you are accused of a crime. Of a crime. Either wrongfully or not. The local law enforcement have strong evidence against you. Heinous crime. The Lovers. What do we do with the Lovers? Judgment and the Magician. Obviously the Magician should be something magic orientated. Chaps and chapasses, what do we think? Ooh. No worries. How about you gain the use of a cantrip of your choice. Your highest mental stat is your casting ability for this. Kind of cool. Not OP as fuck, but neat. I was like, oh, sweet. You also may cast... No, what's... I want to give them a first level spell, but like a utility first level spell, but a single casting of it. And I'm just trying to remember what those would be. First level spells. Wizard spells. Find familiar. Shield, silent image, charm person, disguise self, featherfall, identify, illusionary script, mage armor, magic missile, witch bolt, thunderwave, unseen 7. I want something useful but not powerful. Color spray, chromatic orb, charm person, a burning hands, comprehend languages. Thoughts? Unseen servant, expeditious retreat, hellish rebuke. Sleep. I reckon we say you gain the use of minor illusion and one other cantrip. The use of minor illusion and one other cantrip of your choice. Your highest mental stat is your spellcasting ability for these spells. That's cool, right? And still not OP, like minor illusion, useful but not broken. And I love cantrips. Cantrips are cool. So I just need the lovers and judgment. Oh, and temperance. Thoughts, chat? Thoughts, my lovely peeps? What do we think for temperance? I'm just gonna temperance. What does it mean exactly? Abstinence from alcoholic drink. The quality of moderation or self-restraint. Ooh. Temperance. The next time the character spares an enemy or it could be worse. Yeah, compare it to gluttony as a form of lack of self-control, being addicted. Yeah. So what I'm thinking of is, enforces them to not kill. But it doesn't force them to, just there is a massive penalty for taking life. And a reward for... So they get rewarded for not killing people, and next time the character spares an enemy life, leaving them instead unconscious, incapacitated at 0 hit points. Being forced to act away would go against the whole being in control of yourself idea. Yeah, again, I'm enforcing a sort of a style of play. Punish for killing where sparing was an option and vice versa. Yeah, I think something along those lines. I think, yeah, the next time, I don't think we need to have a punishment for killing. I think there needs to be a reward for sparing. The next time the character spares an enemy, because they don't know, they wouldn't necessarily know what it means. Like, I, as a DM in this one, wouldn't tell them what they got. Tricksy, though. How to word it. And what should they get? Again, it's sort of enforcing them a particular sort of a narrative element, but possibly something along the lines of they gain an addiction. And temperance is they are like it requires effort on their part to abstain from it. But not abstaining hurts. Like, say they become addicted to alcohol and they get really bad hangovers. If they even touch it, if they even just have a sip, they will have the worst hangover. But again, it feels like punishing them for role-playing, which is, I suppose, the point I'm trying to go. Like, yeah, I don't like forcing them to role-play in a particular way or punishing them for doing so. Some kind of bonus that ensures they can't be manipulated. It can't be manipulated, charmed, drugged, possessed. Exactly. Ooh, I like that. The next time the character spares an enemy life, they are blessed for their temperance by a fey being, which arrives and for their moderation. Let's not reuse the word temperance. Moderation. By a fey being, which arrives grants them resistance to being charmed. If they were already resistant, they become immune. Could be very cool. I'm in control of my fate, not you. Holy barbarian smacking down a tempting devil. Yeah. They gain resistance to any charm or mind control effect. Which makes them resistant to being charmed to any charm. Yeah, I think it's a better way of wording it. Thank you. Any charm or mind control effect. Cool. Nice. Good work, team. Judgment and the Lovers. I kind of I don't really want to be obvious with the lovers. Oh, the character receives a letter from the spouse of somebody in the opposition, somebody in the force that they are fighting, somebody who is opposed to them, begging them to take mercy on their spouse. Possibly. It's not good or bad. It's just awkward. Nigerian money scam. Well, is that for judgment or for this? Yeah, how do we do the lovers in a non-obvious way? Oh, dearie me. Gosh, I've been going for like 3.5 hours. 3.25. Wow. Okay. Nearly there. Nearly there. Hey, Gift of Gabby. Yes, I am doing very well. How are you, my dear? Gift of Gabby 1, nice to meet you. How are you doing? We are doing some wild magic... No, we're not. We are doing some homebrewing, making a new deck of many things for the 5e D&D system. For this, they receive a letter from the spouse of a foreign prince offering them money. If they fulfill the quest, they get +1 charisma. If they refuse... Is it legit? A spouse of a foreign... Win either way. Better win one way than the other. If they take the quest, they get the money. If they don't take the quest... Make it legit, it's funnier. Yeah, okay. Heck it. Let's do it. That is my suggestion. Yeah, alright. Okay. You receive a letter from I think it's not from the prince himself. From the spouse. I think it is from a foreign noble person. Begging for your help. Their spouse has been kidnapped and they need someone local to go and save them / manage the handover. They can either fight to save the person, at which point they get to keep the money that the noble person is promising to pay for their spouse's safe return, or they get a stat boost for just negotiating the handover. Wisdom plus if they reject the obvious fraud. Yes. But we don't tell them what the bonuses are. Yeah. You receive a letter from a foreign noble person begging for your help. The spouse has been kidnapped and they need someone local to go and save them / manage the handover of the fees. Mechanically, there are 3 choices here. If they dismiss this as an obvious fraud, they gain +1 whiz. If they take the offer and they have to pay for the release in the first place. Go somewhere and save them / manage the handover of the fees. However, the noble is cash strapped. Their spouse handles the finances and so cannot pay up front. All they need you to do is pay the initial release fee and they will refund you. Hey, Rob the Bearded Dragon! Marco Desune! A Netherese Prince. Exactly, yeah. This is exactly what we're thinking. So you get a sub-quest adventure hook. Yeah. Rob the Bearded Dragon, it is good to see you, mate. We are very close to initial release fee. Sounds like sexual solicitation. A little bit. We are very close to finishing our new, improved deck of many things. It is many more things than the normal deck, and I will go through and explain all of them when I have just about finished, but we've got one more to write. We're just finishing the Lovers, then we have to write Judgment, and that's it. We are done. Yeah, fun times, exactly. So this one, and I love it. It's not where my brain went at all, but I really love this one. The Lovers. You receive a letter from a foreign noble person begging for your help. Their spouse has been kidnapped and they need someone local to go and save them / manage the handover of the fees. However, the noble is cash strapped. Their spouse handles the finances and so cannot pay up front. All they need you to do is go and pay the initial release fee and they will refund you. Mechanically, there are 3 choices here. If they dismiss this as an obvious fraud, they gain +1 wisdom. If they take the offer and deal with the kidnappers, they will be repaid and in full plus 10% and gain +1 charisma. Or if they kill the kidnappers, kill / defeat the kidnappers, they will get to keep the money. All the ransom money. They get to keep 50% of the ransom money. And gain +1 strength for saving the damsel. They will pay you double and gift you a favor. But they're foreign. They're nowhere near, so they don't have the capacity. I reckon it's just and they will refund you plus 10%. Mechanically, there are 3 choices here. If they dismiss this as an obvious fraud, they gain +1 wisdom. If they take the offer and deal with the kidnappers, they will be repaid in full plus 10% and gain +1 charisma. Or if they kill / defeat the kidnappers, they will get to keep 50% of the ransom money and gain +1 strength. I think that's really fun. I think that's a really cool little idea. That's excellent work. Particularly Crisp and Crunch, but a lot of good work there, everyone. +1 strength won't give any ability bonus unless your strength is an odd number. I know. But it's still, like, neat to have. Maybe strength is not your primary stat and it is an uneven number, or perhaps... but it means that the next time, if you want to buff your strength by 1, rather than burning your full ability score increase into strength, you can instead just get a feat that only buffs it by 1 and also gain something else. I'm not looking for it to be awesome, because you're also getting 50% of the ransom, which is probably going to be quite a lot. In fact, should we say how much the ransom is? The initial release fee. Let's say 500 GP. And they will refund you 10%, which is 50 gold pieces, which is, you know, a low-level quest. Or you get 250 gold pieces if you kill the kidnappers. But like 500 gold pieces is achievable for a mid-level party. To just sort of, yeah, we can rustle up 500 gold pieces right now, yeah. Honestly, what is the point of D&D's system only conferring benefits on even integers? Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. It does feel a little unnecessary. Tradition. Well, quite, Gift of Gabby. Yeah, I'll pay you that. Gift of Gabby, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. All right, guys, last one. Like, there is a small amount in it. Option 1 is +1 whiz. Option 2 is 50 gold pieces and +1 charisma. Option 3 is plus 250 gold pieces and +1 strength. Yeah. Yeah, it allows you that flexibility with the features, and I freaking love features. I love feats, not features, feats. I really love that mechanic. Something about the math involving how you get your bonuses and stuff. Oh, yeah. I love fate. I mean, you do you, Rob. I prefer meters. Metric for me all the way. That's a good emoji. All right, judgment. Last one. Absolutely last one. And then we are done. Judgment. How about vampirism? How about you become a vampire? Silence is deafening because you can't talk back. Because we've judged, because there are two with a very similar thing. There's judgment, and then there is justice. Justice, you were accused of a heinous crime, either wrongfully or not. The local law enforcement have strong evidence against you. Judgment. We had lycanthropy already, so sure, yeah. Yeah, this is it. We've had lycanthropy, but that's sort of different and a little less powerful. Yeah, vampirism, it is OP. It is quite OP. Alright, shoot me another idea then. It's not very thematic to judgment anyway. Google says the card is referred to as the time of resurrection and awakening, a time when a period of our life comes to an absolute end, making way for dynamic new beginnings. Interesting. So, polymorph? Yeah, we should do that. But something big. You are polymorphed into a dragon. or something like that. An adult dragon for an hour. Or a day. A creature with CR higher than expected. So the rapture, basically. Everyone gets resurrection for the final judgment. We've already got one that does allow true resurrection. Ooh, how about the mightiest enemy they have ever fought? Reses. Marco Dezune, it's a neat idea. It does, however, enforce an awful lot of work on the DM. Yay, new Sharpies. Love that, yeah. Don't mind me. Yeah. The mightiest enemy you have ever defeated is resurrected and hunting you for vengeance. That. Good for round 2. Cool! There we have it. DM, why does it say Nemesis system activated on my screen? Yes. So, this is our new deck of many things. New and improved harrowing deck of many things. So, all your number cards are cups, pentacles, swords, or wands. These are all elementally aligned. So, on a 2 of cups, a weapon upon your person becomes magical with the associated element. On cups, it is either acid or poison, DM's discretion. On a 3, the next time you would take damage, the damage is increased by 6d6 of the associated element. Ouch. 4, you gain resistance to the associated element. If you already have resistance, this increases to immunity. Number 5, you gain the ability to make a breath weapon attack 1d10 of the associated element. To activate this power, you must, as part of the action, take a drink and expel it as the breath weapon. Gets arch nemesis flashbacks from Path of Exile. You become vulnerable to the associated element. If you are currently resistant or immune to this element, your resistance degrades. Immunity becomes resistance, become normal, become vulnerable. 7. The next time a creature that you can see makes an attack with the associated element, you become charmed by them in the manner of the Charm Person spell. This ignores any resistance or immunity you might possess to being charmed. Number 8, you become immune to the associated element. Roll a d4. After this many days, this immunity will degrade to resistance. After the same number of days again, it will fade completely. And after the next cycle, you become vulnerable to the damage type. If this is not cured within the same number of days, it becomes permanent, and only a wish spell can fix it. Could be a Revenant. Mightiest enemy. I'm leaving it as mightiest enemy because it leaves it to the DM's discretion. To play with as they will, to balance the encounter as they will. I would probably have them team up with the new BBEG. With the next boss, you know? That's so, and I would probably, yeah, I like the idea of Revenant, and if it was in Barovia, abso-freaking-lutely they would be. But I'm leaving it open-ended for that exact reason. Number 9, all your magical attacks, effects, and spells are colored by / made of the associated element. For example, in the case of cups, fireball becomes acid ball, mage hand becomes tinged with acid, message leaves the recipient's ears stinging, etc. Healing magic does still heal, but the way it manifests changes. On a 10, roll a d6. That many orbs made of the associated element appear and orbit you at a leisurely pace. You may, as an action, expend one of these orbs to make a ranged spell attack using your highest mental stat for the attack modifier. These attacks deal 4d6 of the associated type and have a range of 120 feet. If you miss, however, the orb returns and you are obliged to make a dex save against your own spell save DC, taking the damage yourself on a fail or half as much on a success. If there are any unused orbs at the end of your next long rest, they all target you immediately, and you must make the required dex saves. The page cards, you become the victim of the lycanthropy curse. Cups makes you a wolf, pentacles makes you a rat, wands a boar, and swords a bear. The knight cards, you gain a level in paladin if it's cups, artificer if wands, ranger if swords, warlock if pentacles. The ace cards, within the next day you will come across an unlocked chest containing riches. Cups means 5 ornaments worth 1,000 gold pieces each. Swords means 5 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each. Pentacles means 5 pieces of jewelry worth 1,000 gold pieces each. And wands means 12 gems worth 100 gold pieces each. Nowhere near as valuable, but potentially more useful, because 12 instead of 5. The king cards. Within the next day you will come across a merchant who has an item for sale that he does not know the true value of. It will appear unassuming, but it is actually a rare quality magic weapon if swords, magic armor if cups, pentacles is a wondrous item, wands is a spell casting focus or similar. Queen of Cups. Off with his head. Your head becomes detachable. This causes you no pain and can in certain circumstances be quite useful. However, you are at disadvantage to perform any actions with your body while your head is not in its usual spot. Queen of Wands. Off with his clothes! Roll a d2. You grow on a 1 or shrink on a 2, one size class, and none of your clothing or gear now fits you. The Queen of Swords. Off with my clothes! You become dazzlingly attractive to all who see you. You gain a +2 bonus to your charisma score, however, you will struggle to go unnoticed ever again. Queen of Pentacles. Back on with his clothes! You become startlingly ugly to all who see you. You lose -2 points from your charisma score, but people now actively pay less attention to you. This could grant you a situational bonus to stealth. Then we have the Major Arcana. The Fool. Permanently reduce your intelligence by 1d4 + 1 to a minimum score of 1. You can draw 1 additional card beyond your declared draws. The Magician. You gain the use of Minor Illusion and 1 other cantrip of your choice. Your highest mental stat is your casting ability for these spells. The High Priestess. The character receives 2 visions and knowledge of the future. One is true, one is false. They do not know which is which. The DM determines the specifics of these visions. The Empress. A comet flies above. The player who drew this card gains +5 to their AC, but their armor melts off them, and they become, for a reason of the DM's discretion, unable to wear armor. The Emperor. The character finds a key. It has a one-time use that will open any door, chest, or other locked barrier. It includes magical gates, arcane locks, and portals that have specific requirements. Once used, the key disappears. The Hierophant. At any time you choose within 1 year of drawing this card, you can ask a question in meditation and mentally receive a truthful answer to that question. Besides information, the answer helps you solve a puzzling problem or other dilemma. In other words, the knowledge comes with the wisdom on how to apply it. The Lovers. We love this one. Gift of Gabby. If it's a pearl worth 100, could be used for the Identify spell. Exactly. And that was the thinking, Gabby. Because there is a bunch of spell components that are 100 gold piece of this. Diamond's very popular. I think not Resurrection, but Revivify requires a 100 gold piece diamond. The lovers, you receive a letter from a foreign noble person begging for your help. Their spouse has been kidnapped and they need someone local to go and save them / manage the handover of the fees. However, the noble is cash-strapped. Their spouse handles the finances and so cannot pay up front. All you need to do is go and pay the initial release fee and they will refund you plus 10%. Mechanically, there are 3 choices. If they dismiss this obvious fraud, they will gain a +1 wisdom. If they take the offer and deal with the kidnappers, they will be repaid in full plus 10% and gain +1 charisma. Or if they kill / defeat the kidnappers, they will get to keep 50% of the ransom money and gain +1 strength. All cool. Chariot. Reality's fabric unfurls and spins anew, allowing you to avoid or erase one event as if it never happened. You can use the card's magic as soon as you draw the card or at any other time before you die. Dope. Justice. You were accused of a heinous crime, either wrongfully or not, and the local law enforcement have strong evidence against you. The Hermit. All forms of wealth that you own other than magic items, the clothes you are wearing, and what is in your pockets is lost to you. Portable property vanishes. Businesses, buildings, and land you own are lost in a way that alters reality the least. Any documentation that proves you should own something is lost, so this card is lost too. This card also disappears. Wheel of Fortune. Roll a d4. You are granted the ability to cast a 9th level spell once without the need for components. On a 1, it's Wish. On a 2, it's True Polymorph. On a 3, True Resurrection. On a 4, Time Stop. Strength. If you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster or group of monsters you encounter, you gain enough experience points to gain 1 level. Otherwise, the card has no effect. The Hanged One. The card's unearthly visage curses you. You take a -2 penalty on saving throws while cursed this way. Only a god or the magic of the Chariot card can end this curse. Death. This black card spells disaster. Your soul is drawn from your body and contained in an object in a place of the DM's choice. 1 or more powerful beings guard the place. While your soul is trapped in this way, the mechanical effect is you lose all ability to cast magic, and your abilities become those of a fighter or rogue, your choice. Of the same level. You become a fiend for the purpose of detecting evil, and good, and similar spells, and cannot astrally project. A wish spell can't restore your soul, but the spell reveals the location of the object that holds it. You draw no more cards. Temperance. The next time the character spares the life of an enemy life, they are blessed for their moderation by a fey being, which makes them resistant to any charm or mind control effect. If they were already resistant, they become immune. The Devil. A non-player character of the DM's choice becomes hostile towards you. The identity of your new enemy isn't known until the NPC or someone else reveals it. Nothing else other than a wish spell or divine intervention can end the NPC's hostility towards you. The Tower. You gain expertise in the persuasion skill. In addition, you gain rightful ownership of a small keep or property somewhere in the world. However, it is currently in the hands of monsters, which you must clear out before you can claim it as your own. The Star. Increase one of your ability scores by 2. The score can exceed 20 but can't exceed 24. The Moon. You lose enough experience to lose 1 full level. The Sun. You gain enough experience to level up. Judgment. The mightiest enemy you have ever defeated is resurrected and hunting you for vengeance. The World. Every magic item you wear or carry disappears. In the next few days, you will receive a letter alerting you to their location from the being that now has them. Similarly to Judgment there, I have left that one open-ended so that it could be whatever. It could be a quest hook. It could be as inconvenient as very little. Cool. Glorious. Well, I will, obviously, I'm going to need to format that. But I will put it up in our ! Discord. The Tower, why not just go to any property that's overtaken by monsters and claim it by clearing it out? Well, fair. But you actually are the rightful owner of it. Which could come with a title, I would say. And you also gain expertise in persuasion. In addition, you gain rightful ownership. This may come with a title. So yeah, I will pop this up in our Discords. If anybody fancies joining our ! Discord, they can. The link is there in chat. we have homebrewed a whole mess of stuff, and it's all up in the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered in our Discord. We've homebrewed a wild magic table. It has a full 300 options with varying probability. There we have homebrewed a wild magic Surge for Barbarians table as well. I love my tables. And that one has 20, I want to say 8 options on it, but it's a D20 roll. No, it's 26 options. Of, again, varying probability. But yeah, most of them are a 1 to 20 probability. A few of them are not. A few of them are sub-options. So yeah, there's a couple of subclasses and colleges. There's a College of the Canopy, which is a bard class about being a cult leader, which is kind of fun. And Julio is in our Thursday night campaign, which brings me to, we will be back on Thursday night. I will be back in the DM seat for more Humblewood on Thursday evening, 7 p.m. AWST GMT plus 8, with Karen, Daria, and Brendan for the continuation of the Humblewood campaign there. They have all just finished leveling up to level 9 now, so we will need a few people in chat to roll them bones for us, because we roll our HP, and the chat is the ones who do it for us. Gain uncontested ownership. Yeah. Roll rightful ownership. Uncontested. Yeah, you gain uncontested. Let's put it that way. Uncontested. Well, the creatures are contesting it. Contested legal ownership. Yay for the extra title. Yeah. Cool. What else are we doing? Karen and I will be back on Monday night for another Karen and Josh review, where we take a look at other RPG systems and talk about how much we like them. We normally do. We often play them as well. So that's all cool and groovy. And next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, I will be over on the Law Rights channel for some more Shadows over Morna. But that's not this week. They're having a week off, and that's absolutely fair. I think that's all the sort of exciting news I have for the coming up times. I've been Josh the Pirate. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure having all of you. Thank you to our lovely raiders, the Lost Archives. Owen, you bloody champion. So yeah, I think we should probably go away and raid somebody now. Who have we got to raid? I think we will chuck a sneaky little raid over to Mike Moans, because he's a lovely guy, and we love Mike. So, throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Mike where you came from, and we will see you, same bad time, same bad channel, back on Thursday evening for more Humblewood! Yay! Thanks very much for joining me, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I will see you guys soon. Say goodbye, Josh. Bye, Josh. Whee!